Ni hao ma. Good morning. I am James Carl Morata and we are going to discuss metacognition. Metacognition is thinking about your own thinking. It involves being aware of your understanding and regulating your thought process, helping you plan, monitor, and evaluate your learning and problem-solving strategies. And now, we are going to discuss the components of metacognitive knowledge. And the first component is declarative knowledge. Declarative knowledge is the learner's knowledge about things. It also refers to the learner's understanding of their own abilities and the knowledge of the oneself as a learner and of the factors that moderate one's performance. From the word knowing that, it is a factual information that can be concisely recalled and expressed. It is about knowing that something is true. Since declarative knowledge is based on factual information, it answers what questions. Let's say, for example, what is a shape that has 4 sides and 4 equal lengths? The answer would be square because square has 4 equal sides and 4 equal lengths. The next component is procedural knowledge. Procedural knowledge, it is about the knowledge on how to do things and how skills and competencies are executed. So from the word knowing how, it is about knowing how to perform a task or a skill. It often required practice and experience rather than explicit instruction. And it is the ability to execute actions. Let's say, for example, riding a bike. By riding a bike, it exemplifies procedural knowledge because you are learning the skill of riding a bike but just by practicing it instead of following instructions. You have performed the skill without following any specific rules. And the last component is conditional knowledge. Conditional knowledge, it refers to the ability from the word knowing when and why. So it involves when and why to apply the procedural knowledge and the declarative knowledge. This involves by executing those strategies and skills to the appropriate conditions. So now we are done discussing the metacognitive knowledge. Now we are going to discuss metacognitive regulation and control. Metacognitive regulation and control, it refers to how learners monitor and control their own cognitive processes. This encompasses planning, monitoring, and evaluating one's learning and thinking in order to achieve their goal. Let us say you are given a performance task by a teacher. So in order for you to execute that task and complete it smoothly, you need to follow the process. So before you're going to execute the task, you need to do first planning. Planning, this refers to setting goals and selecting appropriate strategies before undertaking a certain task. This is where you're going to plan everything, prepare your strategies, and set your goals before you're going to dive in to your task. And the next process, that would be monitoring. Monitoring, it refers to an individual's ongoing awareness and assessment of their own comprehension and task performance during a learner or problem-solving ability. This involves where you are going to apply all of the plans that you have made before you have done the task, and this is where you're going to track your progress and to also do adjustments if you have noticed any errors and difficulties. And the last step, that would be evaluating. Evaluating, it refers to assessing the effectiveness of one's learning strategies and outcomes after a task or learning activity is given. So this is where you're going to reflect and to determine what strategies that you have planned have worked and what didn't work, and to check all of the any errors that has made in the learning task and how you're going to prevent and to improve in the future. So now we are done tackling the metacognitive regulations and control. Now we are going to tackle the metacognitive teaching strategies. The first strategy is to think aloud. To think aloud, this refers to a strategy where teachers verbalize their thought processes while performing a task, like reading a text or solving a problem. The next strategy that would be journalizing. Journalizing it is also known as a reflective writing. It is a teaching strategy where students write to reflect on their learning, thoughts, and experiences. This helps them monitor their understanding, evaluate strategies, and plan for future learning. The next strategy, that would be error analysis. It is a teaching strategy where it involves students examining their mistakes to understand why they occurred, identify misconceptions, and develop their learning strategies. This shifts the focus from simply correcting errors and using them as opportunities for deeper learning and self-reflection. The next strategy, that would be wrapper. A wrapper in a teaching strategy that is a brief activity that surrounds a learning task to encourage students to reflect on their thinking and learning processes. Go. Let us say, for example, you're going to discuss a topic to your class. Before you're going to dive into your discussion, you're going to ask the students for some guessing questions or hints of your discussion or topic. That way, the students will have an idea of what you're going to discuss further. And the last strategy, that would be peer mentoring. Peer mentoring is an effective teaching strategy that involves students supporting each other in becoming more aware of controlling their own learning processes. Let's say, for example, you are in a group study. In the group study, it involves sharing ideas to each other. That way, you are going to learn something from your peers, and your peers will also learn something from you. And that is what all covers from the topic metacognition. Thank you so much for watching. I am Morata, and see you in the next discussion if there's any. Thank you.